Imagine sitting in a car with no driver. The steering wheel is still, the pedals untouched, yet the vehicle begins to move. It turns at intersections, slows down near pedestrians, and even changes lanes with confidence. At that moment, the big question explodes in your mind. How does the car know where to go? How can a machine decide what a human driver would normally choose in real time? Stay with me until the end, because you will not only discover the science behind self-driving decisions, but also hear stories and examples that will make you see roads in a completely different way. A self-driving car is not a magical being. It doesn't feel instinct, it doesn't get nervous, and it doesn't look around like we do. Instead, it relies on sensors, cameras, radars, and lidars that scan the environment in every direction. Imagine giving a blindfolded person the ability to touch everything around them instantly. They wouldn't see, but they would sense shapes, distances, and movement. That's how autonomous cars see. They don't see as humans do. They map reality using beams of light, radio waves, and visual frames captured many times per second. But sensing the world is only step one. The real challenge is decision. Once the car has a picture of the road, it must answer a chain of questions. Where am I? What surrounds me? Where do I need to go? Which path is safest? And it must answer all of these within fractions of a second. That's where artificial intelligence comes in. Deep inside the computer brain of the car, algorithms process the incoming flood of data and compare it with millions of previous examples. The system predicts what will happen next. Will the pedestrian cross? Will the car in the next lane slow down? Will the traffic light turn red? Based on those predictions, the car chooses its next move. Think of it like a chess player who calculates many possible moves before touching a piece. The car runs through scenarios almost instantly. If I accelerate, will I collide? If I brake, will the car behind me crash into me? If I turn left, will I block someone else? The computer doesn't panic. It evaluates probabilities, then acts on the option with the highest chance of success. When humans drive, we rely on intuition. Sometimes we don't even notice the micro-decisions we make. We glance at a cyclist and instinctively give extra space. We hear a siren and immediately pull over. For machines, intuition doesn't exist. They need explicit rules. But writing every possible rule would be impossible because roads are unpredictable. Instead of programming rules for every situation, engineers train the car on huge datasets of driving behavior. The car watches humans drive again and again until it begins to imitate the patterns. That's called machine learning, and it allows the car to handle situations it has never seen before by recognizing similarities. Does this mean the car is truly thinking? Not in the way we think. It doesn't feel cautious or impatient. It simply calculates. Yet, to us, the result looks a lot like decision-making, and sometimes it even surprises its creators. In one test, an autonomous car decided to swerve slightly when passing parked trucks, even though the trucks were within their lanes. Why? Because in the data, many human drivers did the same, probably out of instinct to avoid potential door openings. The car copied that behavior without anyone programming it. The system had learned a subtle piece of human logic. Now, let's address the famous dilemma. What happens when the car faces a situation where every option has risk? Imagine a child runs into the road while another car approaches fast from behind. Should the autonomous car slam the brakes and risk being rear-ended, or keep going and risk hitting the child? These moments raise ethical debates worldwide. Engineers call them edge cases. In reality, self-driving systems are designed to minimize harm, but the moral weight of such decisions is enormous. And that's one reason why fully autonomous cars are still not everywhere yet. It's not just about technology, it's about ethics. And don't imagine these cars as flawless geniuses. They still make mistakes. In some early experiments, self-driving cars struggled with things as simple as identifying a plastic bag blowing across the road. Was it trash, or was it a small animal? Humans can instantly tell the difference. For machines, that distinction takes years of training. And yet, progress is constant. Every test mile teaches the car something new. The more it drives, the better it becomes. Here's another story. During a trial in California, a self-driving car faced an unusual obstacle. A man in a wheelchair chasing a duck across the street with a broom. That's not a typical situation in a driving manual. Yet, the sensors picked up the moving objects. The system calculated the risk, and the car stopped safely. Engineers later joked that no one could have predicted such a scenario, but the car handled it calmly. The car doesn't need to know what a duck is or why a man is chasing it. It only needs to see objects, movement, and potential collision paths. Now, you may wonder, how does the car decide the actual route? Knowing how to move safely is one thing, but choosing the correct road is another. Here, the car relies on navigation systems, maps, and GPS. But these are not ordinary maps. They are highly detailed, down to lane markings, traffic signs, and even curbs. With these high-definition maps, the car can locate itself with precision measured in centimeters. Combined with real-time sensor input, the car knows exactly where it is and which direction to head. Still, even maps can't predict everything. Construction zones pop up, streets get blocked, traffic changes suddenly. That's where real-time decision-making kicks in. The car constantly compares the planned route with the reality it sees. If the road ahead is blocked, it recalculates, just like your phone's GPS, but faster and more dynamically. It chooses alternate paths, guided by both safety and efficiency. Think of a pilot flying a plane with autopilot on. The autopilot follows a flight plan, but still reacts to turbulence, weather, and air traffic. In the same way, a self-driving car follows its route, but constantly adjusts to the world around it. Why do we even trust a machine to make these life-or-death decisions? The truth is, humans are not perfect drivers. Distractions, fatigue, alcohol, and simple errors cause millions of accidents every year. Self-driving technology aims to reduce that human error. Machines don't text while driving. They don't fall asleep. They don't get angry. They just calculate. And if done correctly, their decisions could save countless lives. Of course, not everyone feels comfortable giving up control. Some say they will never step into a driverless car. Others can't wait. This tension is part of the cultural shift. Just like when elevators first appeared without operators, people were terrified. Today, we step into them without thinking twice. The same may happen with cars. One day, not having a self-driving option may feel strange. Here's another twist. Some self-driving cars communicate with each other. Through wireless signals, they share information about traffic, accidents, or sudden braking. Imagine hundreds of cars acting like a school of fish, moving smoothly because each one knows what the others are about to do. That's the future of collective decision-making on the road. Not just one car deciding, but entire fleets coordinating like living organisms. But what if hackers manipulate those decisions? What if someone feeds false data to the system? A car that trusts corrupted information could make dangerous choices. That's why security is as important as intelligence in autonomous driving. Engineers work tirelessly to protect these systems, because the risks are as real as the promises. So, how do self-driving cars decide where to go? They don't rely on instinct. They rely on layers of perception, prediction, and planning. They see the world through sensors, understand it through algorithms, predict what will happen, and then choose the safest and most efficient path. Their decisions are not thoughts. They are calculations. But when calculations are fast enough, precise enough, and adaptive enough, they begin to look like thought. Watching an autonomous car at work teaches us something about ourselves. It reveals how much of human driving is habit, pattern recognition, and probability rather than pure awareness. In some ways, the car is holding up a mirror to the human mind. We too are predicting constantly, often without realizing it. The difference is that we feel. The car does not. So let's end with a question for you. Would you trust a machine with your life on the highway? Would you relax in the back seat while an algorithm guides you through traffic? Or would you cling to the steering wheel, unwilling to surrender control? The future of driving may depend on how we answer those questions. Self-driving cars are already deciding where to go. The real decision is ours.